Live. We're live.
Oh no, I'm not. What?
Shoot.
What?
We're
Here
live.
we
though.
go. Now, are we really live?
Yeah, we're live. This
the
ain't
best
like
kind of
Dyad
live
in
to
the
be.
Force. We just go live and start.
That's the best live to be.
Man.
All right, everyone. Tonight we got DePaul. He's going to be spitting some Star Wars raps. So I'm just going to count them off. Get into it.
Oh, that'd be a cold being Hoth.
We're still expecting Neve as well. I know that she's in the UK, and it's like 7 around there.
Perfect time to wake up. Start a day.
Yeah. It
Get your beans and
is-
toast.
Yeah, 7:33 a.m. in London. But she promised that she would be awake. What's up, Saypan? What's up, Scott Summers 2020?
Hey, it's been a minute since we've seen Scott Summers 2020 in the chat. Welcome back.
I'm early. No, you're not. We start at 11:30. You're fine.
Time is relative.
Exactly.
So I posted my theory on Twitter on how the expanded universe is just like AO3 in canon, and my favorite is someone's like that explains why Legends Grievous is more of a monster, and has a picture of Grievous like typing, like he writes his own fanfic. It's like
Hey,
What would happen if Grievous
whenever I write-
actually got all of every lightsaber?
whenever people write about their own OC, it's always like, that's how Grey Jedi started, right?
Yeah, pretty
He
much.
was-
Yeah.
his emotions
That's what
were
it
so
is now,
powerful.
guys.
He's tapped into the electricity, but
There's the
they
first Grey
tremble.
Jedi. He can't even use the Force. It makes sense.
That's so funny. Using bus Wi-Fi, so please be patient with me. I don't think it affects us, but we saw for you.
and then AJ commented Anakin at 13 writing about Cade Skywalker.
Wow. It's
We'd
it
have such a cool
definitely
grandson.
it definitely makes sense. That's for sure. So we here waiting for ANDOR episode 5 to drop. It usually drops around 11:50.
So excited.
Let me get you into this thread on the server to Paul, because that's where I'm gonna put the group
Okay.
watch link.
Sweet.
Give me more Luthen. I'm falling in love with that man every episode.
He's so mysterious.
I love it.
Oh,
It's like proto Han.
do we need it? I think we need it.
Cassian Andor.
Oh, dude, that's what I love. Ender.
That's what we're coining as ANDOR propaganda. Young told me like I think yesterday or the other day that she blames me because on their first podcast recording she said ANDOR instead of ANDOR. And I was like, that sounds like a you problem.
Oh,
But we do our
man.
work. We do our work to keep things, ANDOR.
When in doubt,
propaganda.
Cassian Andor.
Cassian Ender.
I think it has become more of a gag than our Fulcrum Transmissions thing. I'm in the middle of watching a 2-minute ad and I can't skip it because it makes a stream buffer. I know it's strange.
A 2
Well, we
minute
appreciate
ad.
the support.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks for being here and talking to us. You enjoy that, and maybe or maybe not, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Connor say he was in university this year? He's 17.
Yes.
Just drop out and go home and use the home Wi-Fi. Just kidding. I don't endorse that message. I do not endorse the words that are coming out of my mouth.
You endorse the words
that are.
Because,
How do you not hear Chris Tucker when you hear those lines?
Oh,
it just immediately
we do.
blows up in my head.
We
Do
do.
you not hear?
Absolutely.
What did I just say?
I know it's not. I just imagine in front of you, there's just this like board of just buttons. And you have them all like color coded and you're just like, oh, this one. Ooh,
Just
this one.
a monitor, like the second monitor is the whole, like, the keys and scenes and stuff like that.
So what you're telling me is you're a wizard. Got it.
There you go.
Wizard.
Us
You're a
Asians,
wizard,
like
Harry.
to multitask. Ain't no biggie. It's a wonder how I can like keep up with the chat, and sometimes I don't listen to what people are saying on the show. That's like behind the scenes. Sometimes someone is saying something on Dyad, and I'm just like looking at the chat, just not paying attention. I'm like, Chaco, you got this, right? Yeah.
That is one of the main reasons I knew I had to have more than just me on a podcast, because the people who do solo podcasts, no, because I
That's the
get
Chaco,
distracted.
Dude, that's hard.
That
That's
is
like
hard.
it's you can do it, but you don't know if you're talking to yourself. It's like
Yeah,
and
that's
then
why
it's like the delay and everything, man.
And with video games, it makes more sense because at least you're just playing the game and enjoying that part and using that as the catalyst. But I'm just sitting here just like, hey guys, I'm gonna talk Star Wars at you. Get ready.
Yeah. Like
Well, it also, like, for big pauses and stuff like that, there's someone else to fill that gap, and it just, I think it's also just a mental thing of like when you're making a video and you do cuts in order to decrease interest in it or prevent interest from like declining. Having that back and forth is always good.
What's up, Nighthawk? What's up, Rams? How? Thank you guys for tuning in and being with us on this fine night/day.
Nighthawk.
Hopefully Neve wakes up, otherwise she will be banned from Dyad.
Yeah, we could never ban Neve.
Awkward silences make my brain melt. Well, okay, so there's a power and science behind silences. It's the silences that aren't like incurred by a loss of thought, right? Like I think I showed Chaco this TED talk where he talks about like how silence makes people listen. So when you pause and have a silence, and you're not just like, what do I say next? You're just like, it's an intentful, purposeful silence. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the episode.
I mean, Christopher Walken made a career off of awkward silences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
And that's also why it's good to have a co-host. You can set y'all up for things.
Yes.
right?
Not to mention that random moment when you're saying the word that you've thought and spoken already like 27 times, but your brain just goes, oh, I forgot that. Where are we?
Oh, I do that constantly with names.
Luke Skyfighter? No, that's not it.
My filler is not hold on, I'm thinking about it actually. My filler is all right. You hear it in Dyad a lot when we're switching segments. Like I go, all right. Yeah. Have you guys read the new High Republic yet? Yes.
Yes.
I'll be done with it tomorrow, and I'm loving every second of it.
It is a good one. It's a great reintroduction.
I guess I'm a weirdo where like I don't get awkward with silences. But I feel the other person getting awkward, so like I try to make them feel better sometimes. But like, no, man, I can sit with that.
You ever
that being said, I also used to do sales, and silences are the best thing in sales.
Yeah.
you ever
Whoever speaks first loses.
you ever verbalize that awkwardness? Like you have a moment of silence, but you're like, it's okay for you, and then someone's like feeling awkward. You're like, stop. Stop it.
I think the worst I've ever done is like a good phew. You just sit there for a little bit, you just stare at each other, and just whew, okay, so that was a fun one.
Oh, Connor, So Connor asked me for a 1-word review of the book. I gave him 4. Sometimes that happens.
1-word review. 1-word review.
Book.
Book. That's a word, yeah. Legendary. No?
Uncomfortable.
Casco Hetcha says, "How did I know that impression was coming? Because I got it in the bag all the time, man. I gotta have the impressions in the bag in the locker to do." Eleanor, don't escape me. I actually gave him a 4-word review, and only the people who have read it thoroughly will understand this. And if you haven't read it, it probably won't be a spoiler. A gift freely given.
Oh.
Gift freely given.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many ideas.
Just something there. If you know, you know.
One of the things I kind of like with this, though, is the idea of like allowing people to build out backstory better and pad things out. It was so cool.
Oh yeah.
We could use that, I think, in a lot of different eras, and not just Star Wars 2, but
Yeah.
Was there a certain amount of readjustment for any of you for like, again, not being familiar with the characters?
the only thing that upsets me is when I hear readers pronounce words I've said the different way, like Marchion and Markion, or Ivrini and Ivorani, or however she pronounced it exactly.
Everany?
Okay.
Ivrini, yeah.
The way the reader was pronouncing Nautilin
Yeah.
was sending me. It's Natolin.
Natolin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too much emphasis in the middle there.
I just started reading the High Republic books. I'm about to start The Rising Storm.
Ooh, you are in for a treat.
You're in for a ride.
Yes.
Also, bring tissues.
I mean, you know, if they know what they're doing, they're gonna got tissues at hand.
You gotta.
I mean, without spoilers, I one thing I love about that book is because of course he is. that line just makes me so happy.
Is it strange that I'm used to Pep's little witty answers that I've started adding them to my vocabulary? Do I have that many?
I was like,
You are
Peppa's
now
witty?
quite quippish.
You are
Damn.
done. You're done. Next time we log on GTA, you're done. I got explosive
I'm gonna
ammo
get you.
now,
I'm
sir.
gonna get you so good.
Oh, it's good.
You will know.
Here,
You gotta
X-Twing.
let them know.
Oh man.
You know, something I noticed, I haven't been on TikTok that much, but when I am, like for the past week, but with that new thing they have, the TikTok Nows,
Mhm.
I have realized how much people have actually like watched the original trilogy. Like I've seen so many like TikTok Nows with people just like sitting there watching the like either Return of the Jedi or Empire.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was like,
I haven't filmed a now, so I can't watch the nows.
I did one now, and I just can't, because I don't know. There's a lot of us that are just like at our computer for most of the day. So like, you scroll through and it's just people at computers. Like,
yeah.
What am I doing
Alright.
now? Working on the computer.
I guess it'd be a little bit for me.
especially.
If you guys come to mine now, you're gonna watch me be like repairing a toilet, and then like 2 minutes later, be like, oh, hold on, this dishwasher's leaking too. Oh god.
Well, especially like the content creators, because content creators who have jobs that have you on a computer, because then you're like, both is you on a computer. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
That's like my saving grace, I think, to my knees and spine is that I get up every day for 8 hours and have to lift heavy things and like move.
Oh,
my saving grace for my spines and my knees is Respawn products. Promo code Element7. Go get them.
yeah,
I haven't had many chances to promo Respawn, But
Hey,
this-
that's good to
I
know.
love
I
this
gotta get a
chair.
new chair soon. This bad boy's falling apart. My cat decided to turn into a scratching
I'll tell you
post,
what,
and,
me and
they're made
Choco
of
both
foam.
have promo codes. You toss a coin.
All right.
And it includes a discount for you as well. So it's, you know. I was
Actually,
gonna
you
say
know
my
what?
saving grace for my knees is I'll get up and do squats and pelvic thrusts. No, I'm kidding.
Insert dominance into the room.
In certain in
Sounds like a
certain
good time.
positions, your knees would get damaged.
Depends on the velocity, you know.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you know what? If you are getting a new chair, use Choco's promo code.
Let's be vigorous.
The first convo I had with Pep, he gave me this whole quote, and I just went, "Okay, thanks." What was that first quote? Prove to me you have that stuff written down. What was that first quote? I don't even know.
Wouldn't that be worse though? You just see some guy pull out a journal of everything you've said.
That'll be scary.
Jeez.
I'm like, okay, guys, you guys have a good night. And
So anyway, I'm gonna move
It
and
would be even scarier if you said something very casual and nondescript, and they took that as a quote.
oh,
It's like,
yeah.
the first quote of wisdom you ever told me, I like ramen.
I sat there and I thought about it. What did it mean?
Yeah, there was
Ramen
something
sounds good
subliminal
right now,
about
too.
that.
no, but Jordy, he's
In other
a
words,
cool guy.
No one should tear into what you say like they try to tear into TV shows that they purposely don't want to like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. The the whole. I made the video on it today, but the whole thing of people being like, I can't even tell what this show's about.
I love that one.
And you're like, that's not a flex. You're saying you're dumb, right?
Pretty much,
Is that-
like, it's about Star Wars and the rebellion being born. I know that one, and I'm like, that's not my.
Where this other one over here, she's big and green and has some issues with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, but
oh my god.
I've been saying that in Last Jedi conversations because people
Oh, yeah.
be like, "Oh, it doesn't even make any sense." I'm like, "Oh, it makes sense to me. What didn't you understand? What are you having trouble with?" They're like, "No, I get it, but like."
Do you remember that time where they tried to
and then
turn
you're like, oh,
where,
there it is.
where they tried to turn it around against you and made you look toxic? They said these people are trying to tell us that we're not smart enough to understand the Last Jedi. I was like, I'm not saying that. You are. You're the one saying I don't understand this. So I don't have to say anything. That was an actual thing. Someone told me like, why are you saying I'm dumb? It's like, no, I'm saying I understood the film.
Yeah. I think the proper answer is if the
I'm
shoe
not saying
fits,
you're
but I
dumb.
guess that's mean.
All I'm saying is I know children that understood it.
Yeah.
And see, you know what? What's funny is that when I first watched it, because of the expectations I had for it, of my own expectations I set, I didn't get it. I was like, it's a nice film. And then I watched it again. I was like, and it fucking clicked. I was like, oh, this is a dope ass plot and story. I'm like, okay.
I
I
had
can
to be
relate to
walked
this.
into it. I had to be walked into it. I was kicking and screaming because I was like, "What the? No, I don't like what you did. It hurt
Like,
me."
My wife got in. She's not even a Star Wars fan. I was like, she's like, I actually think Luke Skywalker did a great job, and it was like a very powerful movie. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I looked at her like, you're not even a fan. What are you talking about? I was like,
Mhm.
and then later on, I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly,
That was the most
exactly.
Jedi thing you can do.
All right, so it looks like the episode is available now. So I'll be starting the group watch. Where is the link? Here it is.
Here's the link.
You should look for a Andor watch party thread in the server.
I see that.
I am posting it
Blam.
now.
Hallelujah.
I remember when last week when I posted that and I said watch Aldani and I was like, did they misspell Andor?
They misspelled Ander.
They spelled
All right.
it, yeah. Aldani. Okay.
What's the runtime for this one?
Let's see here. It doesn't say in the watch party, but we'll find out.
Gotcha.
Like, Luke legit is emotional AF. Of course, he acted like that in TLJ. Listen.
You know what I noticed just from this little thumbnail right here is that a lot of their clothes looks like the clothes that Cal wears in Fallen Jedi.
Yeah, no, actually, I noticed that in the trailer. I saw one person with that, like, fur-lined kind of, like, jacket. Kind of looks like it, yeah. We got Chaco and Ryan. We don't got, Jackson. Where are you at?
Yeah, I gotta switch it over to my wife's because I don't know her login information, and like she's asleep. So.
Gotcha.
Stupid Google Plus. I am so sorry.
That's a her problem. Go wake her ass up.
Bro.
No,
Hey.
I'm kidding.
Like, it's time. Wake up. I'll be on the couch tonight, but it's okay.
Bam, there we go. Blammo.
All right.
Hey.
We have Boba Fett, Grogu, and R2. All right, let me put this in the chat. Episode starting. Oh.
I am ready. I'm especially ready for the dinner party from hell.
The title of this one though, that seems ominous, and I love it.
That's suspicious.
Oh yeah, it's on Korean for me.
The scene.
What do you mean buying? We've been eating roots and sleeping on rocks for this rebellion, and now you've got a mercenary on board.
Take him. We'll call it off. Taking on an Imperial armory?
You're not joining us?
Us? How many of us?
Looks like this is 45 minutes, credits included. So
Okay.
Center and Lieutenant Gorn.
They've done a great job with their catching up scenes.
Yeah.
The Milana system is under permanent Imperial authority.
oh yeah, who is she? Who does she need? Who's she gonna get to transfer money?
I'm still saying Brea.
Brad? Oh yeah. You said that on Dyad. I want to say someone else.
Me too.
I want to say Lux.
I love that symbol.
It
That was
is.
just
It's
amazing.
gold all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when The Force Awakens first came out, and then that logo came up?
Chills.
Mm-hmm. No, B2 emo. All right, let's go. I love having different music for every one of these intros.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
That was a gorgeous transition.
this is. It does
That's
feel like a
nice.
sci-fi film, like
Mm-hmm.
intro treatment.
Dude, this has Fringe
Farscape.
vibes.
Oh, Fringe. Okay.
For me, it is Foundation. If
They
you
all start
watch
with
that.
F.
What's up, Matt Stoker? Episode just started.
All right, what are you doing?
Blue milk.
Is that how you've been presenting yourself to the world? That would explain a great deal.
Oh, those are crunch berries, bro.
Cereal?
That's crunch berries.
I want some of those. Yeah,
It's
oops, all berries.
It's all berries.
By the time you remember to sit up straight, it's too late. You might as well wear a sign that says, I promise to disappoint you. Shame we couldn't have seen more of each other when you were flourishing.
He gonna kill her.
Memory dissociation.
Dude, that's what I just thought.
Any civilized being knows an open invitation.
American
is no
Psycho.
invitation at all.
Right?
My assumption is you have no prospects for the future.
I have a spare room. Could have visited anytime you wanted. You know that.
I know what to tell. I intuit the rest. I intuit you have no future.
Quick time,
prospects.
QuickBooks.
You remembered how to mock me? Perhaps you've forgotten my question. Do you have even a single prospect before you?
Man, that hit home. Just a couple of months ago.
I'm calling it.
I had this conversation.
Heard that in a while.
These are desperate times.
You're assuming he'll remember you,
That's amusing.
and you think he'll talk to you.
I know he will. And he'll know why I called. And he'll respect me for having waited so long in asking and being so prudent about my request.
What is he gonna be asking for?
Someone who'll take you on, Cyril.
Saying the bar high, are we?
Alcoholics know what's best.
She's eerily strange.
Mm-hmm.
That's an unusually large Kyber too.
Yeah, it is.
The dual colors in it, I like. I wonder if that means anything or where it grew.
Possibly.
It's all there. Bill asked me to have a look. I think she's having second thoughts. Go talk to her if you want. She'll be up soon. You didn't come with much. That plus the bad arms, pretty clear you left wherever you were in a hurry. Corporate issue. Interesting. There's no sense being upset. We're lucky to be alive right now. We've been down here for months. The stakes are high. How's your arm?
I'll be fine.
And, whose is this?
No wonder the rebellion has such a shaky start. We're all paranoid.
Saw your eyes go right to it.
Great, huh?
So
Oh?
I got no idea.
Sounds like a sick ass band name.
Is he part of the? Oh Jesus!
So where were you?
Sipo. Youth Center. 3 years. I was 13 when I went in.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, you didn't miss anything.
They built a lot of cages, huh? The axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
Okay.
Now it's our turn to do the chopping.
So that's it. That's why you're here? Revenge?
Yeah, that's good enough for now. You?
I was told I could help.
Yeah, but you won't say by who.
Working with other people's memories.
I didn't mark you for a team player.
It always breaks at the weakest point.
Are you worried about the kids?
Crate head.
Nemec's a surprise. He's green, but he's all in. He's a true believer.
Asherad confirmed.
Cause for him.
Don't play me like that.
He's stone cold and fearless. Probably the toughest one here.
What's up, son?
Sharing a blanket, if that's what you're wondering.
The lieutenant
Without him, there's no plan.
could be working to rise into a trap.
They would have taken us down by now. Maybe that's what you're here for.
Was he just taking a bath?
Here to
Yeah,
We're just kind of like,
washing
Wash it up.
down. You know, like
Yeah,
wake up on a
Frenchie.
nice camping trip, wash your face, your pits,
The whole bath. Okay.
the grundle.
The grundle.
Gotta scrub the old grundle. Yeah.
Speaking of grundles,
Oh, jeez.
Nice segue.
Okay, his name. Is Lida ready?
I'm not sure.
Where is she? Lida? Did you eat?
When would that have happened? Just came down.
Take something for the ride.
What?
I need to be going.
Oh, changing plans. Dad's taking me.
You're taking me, right?
Clear it with her.
I don't have early class today.
We planned this.
You did?
Get your coat. It's not up for discussion.
Are you serious?
Am I serious?
Go, you're off the hook.
I mean,
Yeah.
rebellious children
Get your
confirmed
Right.
in Star Wars Galaxies.
So what's the point?
The point is, we have a schedule. The driver's waiting. I planned on this, and we're going.
You're only doing it to show off.
What?
Just go.
What would I be showing off?
You're involved somehow.
Damn.
That's just.
Nobody cares. You can relax.
That's just so hurtful.
See? There you go.
Go where?
That's my point. It's all about you, isn't it? It's always all about you.
Is this really how I'd like to start the day?
I didn't choose this conversation.
Jesus.
so my Mothma kills both of them, and
It's like the Black Panther wants to come out at me and say, "Motherfucker," but then I'm like,
And like, yeah, I forget white people can talk to their parents like that.
I'm from the South. Hold on, I got my shit rocked. Oh, it's white.
You may question her existence.
Hold on. They have normal milk.
I'm sure there's a little tint to it. A little
Oh
hue.
yeah, okay.
"That's not
Camera.
milk."
Old, and true, and sturdy. One of the best navigational tools ever built.
It's called a Polaroid.
Huh?
If you're intercepted, something breaks, you can fix it yourself. Hard to learn. Yes, but once you've mastered it, you're free.
Must make one.
Reliant on Imperial tech, and we've made ourselves vulnerable. There's a growing list of things we've known and forgotten, things they've pushed us to forget. Things like freedom.
That mixes oppression everywhere.
Scheme pretends not to listen, but I know the message is sinking in.
He's writing a manifesto. Did he tell you? Apparently the only thing keeping us from liberty is a few more ideas.
A few more ideas. I mean, it's so confusing, isn't it? So much going on, so much to say, and all of it happening so quickly. The pace of repression outstrips our ability to understand it, and that is the real trick of the Imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40
This guy
scenes
is
and
based as hell.
Right?
Our elemental rights are such a simple thing to hold, they will have to shape the
The pace of repression outstrips. I gotta write that down.
I'm gonna need more shrooms for this one.
Everything else will have to wait. You're my ideal reader.
How you've done it.
I haven't typed on it yet. I've been waiting. It's a work in progress, and I know that there's a great deal left to say. I mean, look, right here.
I'm gonna say it. He reminds me of Harris.
This maps the consciousness. Both systems both are truth, both navigating toward clear and achievable outcomes. Basic facts expanded. To be continued.
I like him.
Haven't watched Andor yet? Watching this right now to see if it's worth investing time. Watching this episode or watching this watch party?
Watching the watch party, our lack of talking is because it's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting.
I barely trust you.
Obviously, it's a track launch, so there's an adjusted thrust ratio to make it up the ramp.
Okay.
It's on an overhead rail.
Has to be.
So calibrating the weight.
What about it?
How would you do it?
How would I know the weight? Is this a test?
It's a simple question.
You don't know how to get it off the runway.
know how to fly.
Gotta get it out there first.
Answer the question.
You really don't. Do you
Wow.
know how to get it out of there?
How do you input the weight?
You sure it's on the rail?
Yes.
It's mounted. It's ready to go. That's how they keep it. You're sure of that?
Yes, we're sure. Lieutenant Gorn is in there every day.
Okay. There's a load clutch. It's a big ugly handle just right next to the booster throttle. There's a gauge just below to read out the weight.
Why isn't this in the manual?
Because it's a custom job. It's an add-on. What were you gonna do if I wasn't here?
Might be ugly, but we'd have figured it out.
No. Okay. I'll find it.
No, you'll do as you're told.
I'm flying it. You can say it's your idea. I don't care, but if it's my ass on the line, I'm pulling this thing out of there.
I mean, come on now. Exactly.
I mean, he might be having self-pervasion, but he's still like more trusting than the others.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, if like you literally went into this like blind and he's the only person that knows, let him pilot.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's a critical point.
The tower yard. The dam. Garrison HQ and the barracks up top at the east end. The Rono tunnel. Flight control tower. Objective number 1. The door at the base of the tower. The temple path. No, the real thing has a downhill pitch.
Temple path. Ooh.
Down there. Where we'll be coming from. The old temple.
So we might see some cool iconography, but I don't really need him to go too much into the Force and Temple stuff.
What is this? This got to be something. It's a old Jedi henge of some kind.
Well, I mean, they have the ritual that they do.
Oh yeah, that's right. But we do know from the High Republic, most of those sites did originate in Jedi ruins.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, this is the most black people I've seen in Star Wars. In this series.
Keep a tally. Hey, because I have one that's 1 page in length over Asians.
Really?
Yep, just 1 page, and it's not even full.
There are more in this show than all of Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
With legitimate character behind it.
Can you walk like a soldier?
I've seen it done.
Let's find out if you've been paying attention. Form up.
Everybody's doubting him. He probably has the most experience out of all of them.
Right.
Isn't that guy in like Bridgerton? Wrong guy, sorry.
What? Oh yeah, look at that.
What do you think? There's a hotel. Do you want it or not? The assignment? No, you're taking the assignment. I was asking if this would do as your headquarters. Could I be making...
Oh, that's that Maze Bank West location.
I know it doesn't come with extra pay. You can wear a ball gown if you'd like. Just get this up and running before my next staff meeting. It's about confidence. We belong here. We're following orders. The door's being opened as we approach. Lieutenant Dawn will be out front. He's the leader. He's the gatekeeper. So eyes on him at all times. We're locked in. We're listening. Ready to adapt. And last man in bolts the door behind him.
That's the one that looks like Cal Kestis' thing. The one on the fence.
Questions?
What are they doing?
Never mind about them. We've got enough to worry about. Let's walk it again at speed.
You should switch.
What?
He's left-handed. Should swap sides.
Why don't you get a handle on what we're doing here before you start making suggestions?
Why? Why switch sides?
Scheme is
Because of the way the direction the guns were pointing.
Mhm.
They point them out. I was thinking that the whole time they were marching.
Taramin,
Right,
Center,
right.
Namek.
Faber's right, but should left.
Fine.
This guy's good.
Any other suggestions?
Wait! Cover the guns.
Go, 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 go!
Andy's coming.
Go on.
You know how you can tell that really wasn't there? The sheep didn't all just die.
Surprise from above is never as shocking as one from below.
Corporal Kimsey,
Sir.
enjoying the view?
Yes, sir. Gets a bit stale in there sometimes.
It's always inspiring, isn't it?
I suppose. Is it true they're tearing this all down?
It's been discussed.
Move the airbase here. Makes sense.
It's a big project.
Too many Darnies to worry about anymore, though, eh? How many do you think we'll have tomorrow?
I don't know. It was less than 100 last time.
Still
They
enough.
dropped so many terms.
You imagine
But they're just living in the universe,
Right.
which I appreciate.
Yes, me too, but I need to know the answers.
Yeah. ANDOR visual dictionary incoming.
Get about your business, Corporal. You're making rounds tomorrow night, and I expect you at your station.
Sir, yes, sir.
I need my Scholastic Book Fair books now.
Yeah, it's been a while since I got myself a Ranger Rick, you know?
Hello.
No, boy.
Again.
No, boy.
Stop.
She's cute. Sorry. I miss Bix.
Hey, what are you doing? Just moving your stuff.
Don't.
It was in the way.
Don't ever.
I thought you were checking the comms.
This guy.
Hey. And you can dress yourself.
Who packed these charges?
That would be me.
Oh, it's the first time he gives it back to you guys. This is how he gets it.
Still here just walking to college. Have a good day at college.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at you. Make a soldier of the year.
And I want to keep a tight hand on the budget. Now, what did I miss while I was gone?
The Finkley conference.
The Finkley conference.
Happy to know that board meetings are still just as boring in Star Wars.
It's useless. They haven't broken, misplaced, or mislabeled a single military component in the past 12 quarters.
Maybe there's an unofficial ledger.
I wouldn't trust anything coming out of there. Imperial Navy is the only account they have left at this point, and they never admit anything's wrong.
You should go. I didn't realize how late it was.
I'm staying if you are.
I don't know what I'm doing. About any of it.
Yes, you do. You're onto something. Kessel. Fondor. Targeting consoles from Jakku. Proton warheads from Base K and Steerguard Star Park.
He's right, though. It's too spread out to be organized.
But you don't believe that.
I know this. If I was them, this is how I'd do it. I'd spread it out. Never climb the same fence twice.
It's too random to be random.
That is a thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2 more files each.
They're doing a really good job of humanizing the Empire, but still making them evil.
You know what? I was just thinking that she's on drugs, and she might be on drugs.
Her face shows so much disdain. Like,
Yeah.
It's like
Ceremonial burning of the effigy.
Just Tonneray.
jungle juice.
What was the drink from Bloodline? That Greer? What's it?
A port in a storm.
Yeah.
Stay focused, Clint.
It was Greer, right? That
Yeah.
Rebellion.
Nemec.
I do believe that was the first kind of like verbal confirmation that they were part of a rebellion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, aside
I
from her
mean,
talking about like bleeding for the rebellion and like sleeping in dirt, but that was just her and Luthen.
Oh,
I mean, the question is whether or not like a definite article was implied there, like the rebellion or a rebellion.
Yeah, that's kind of the early on feel.
He said he never felt police work was your chosen path.
Because he knows me so well.
And whose fault is that?
Can I guess?
Perhaps you'll study Uncle Harlow with more energy in the future.
What field is it he thinks I should be pursuing?
He'll kill her. Okay.
or just
That
bottle.
thing
it
in the
up
corner
inside.
looks like R2D2.
It's
That's
Wish
a vacuum cleaner.
That's the Zumba.
That's R2D2's crackhead uncle.
Sadly, I won't be able to study on Harlow's response.
I feel like Harlow's not even his uncle. That's just like his title.
It's the great value or two.
Man, he's been eating that bowl of cereal for like 5 days.
Right?
Distance to low ground.
28 meters.
Emergency comm signal.
Red.
Clear signal.
I should be writing all of this down for trivia.
What's an Imperial lieutenant doing getting involved with this?
What difference does it make?
Everyone else seems to know.
DePaul's laugh makes my day.
Local woman lost promotion. Then he
All
lost
right.
woman. Then he lost his taste for the Empire. Everyone has their own rebellion.
Okay. I think that confirms it.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. Everyone has their
Yeah.
own rebellion.
Well, that's kind of the early stages of the rebellion, which I love, and Andor captures perfectly, is the fact that it's so many minor cells. Rebels kind of said it. This is showing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I gotta add another freaking Asian to the book.
Prepare a reduced schedule for tomorrow. I know you were eager for
Shut up.
mean a great deal to them.
When people say schedule, it makes me mad.
You too?
It's not spelled that way, which is annoying.
Arriving today and in our business
Yeah, and it's also not spelled aluminium.
tomorrow night will make the thought more clear. Sir, may I speak plainly, sir? Plainly and quickly.
Darnay, sir. It's not many people's first choice assignment. The thing you hear when posted to Aldani is that perhaps you'll be lucky enough to be there for the eye. The idea of being this close and not seeing it. And I know we can't all be up there, but I fear morale might be crushed by having anything more than an essential roster down here tomorrow night.
I want it painted the day after tomorrow. I'll be here midday and I expect to see it shine. Absolutely. Make sure the men know how close they've come.
I know I'm missing someone. Chirrut, Rose, Imperial Soldier, A in that scene. Paige, Dappa Balaba. I think that's it. I think that's it for Asians.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about people in visual media.
Yes.
All right, Jess Pava.
There we go.
All right.
I knew it. I knew you were lying. I knew it. Look, what is it? Kyber. Sky Kyber. He's been hiding it. Sky Kyber, look at it glow.
I warned you.
He comes in with nothing but the clothes on his back and a stone worth 30,000 credits.
If you have a problem, you come to me.
Here I am. I've topped out on questions, though. I have reached my limit. He won't say why he's here, where he's from. He doesn't say what he believes in, and now this? Who brings a treasure to a robbery?
We don't have time for this.
I need to know who I'm riding with.
You know exactly who I am. And you know I'll kill you for it.
Okay, so I guess we know it's not a fake, huh?
It's your call.
Let's not go too far, Clem.
I just want what's mine.
Yeah, don't put me on the spot.
Enough! Everyone stands down. Everyone! There's nothing coming. There's a ship in the valley. Get your packs up. Move. Put the weapon away. Give him the stone. You can kill each other later.
I wonder how much Kyber crystals are. Do we
You
have
said
a
how much,
value?
or
Yeah. Do we have a value,
mean-
Chaco, on that? On the crystals?
No.
We'll talk when we're safe.
I could have sworn Galen said something about how much they were.
That's what just blows my mind. Like,
I thought they were like on a black market.
Paid to be here.
you can find a few of them.
Yeah, like lightsabers, I guess.
You need to know? That's it.
What?
Yeah, I'm here for the money. You can't live with that? I'm not worth it? I'll walk away and wish you luck. But that's what it is. I don't want to walk in looking over my shoulder.
You knew this.
The choice was take him or call it off.
We thought. You should have told us days ago.
Maybe so.
I just would have been something else.
What's that mean?
The day before is always hard. Too much time to worry.
You think we're scared?
I know you are.
It's really only the money.
To take a risk like this? Come on.
Maybe you're the one that's afraid.
Of course I'm afraid. But there's a difference between fear and losing your nerve. You want out of this. Make a choice. Don't use me as an excuse.
Dang.
That was a good one.
No. She didn't tell me.
Let's get to the camp in one piece. You can all chew on it there. All of you. Move.
Did none of them besides her know Luthen?
Yeah. No,
Correct.
She was the only one.
That just seems like I get it, but
Hey, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
you never know who you can trust.
You
Need
gotta
no
keep your
basis.
circle small.
A very small circle is just a line.
I mean, I'm sure Mon Mothma's circle is pretty small.
Didn't think you'd be interested.
Why is that?
It's charitable.
they be taking jabs.
Cloris. Sir. Do you mind taking expressway. Yes, sir.
There's an expressway, bro. You have all of space and the sky.
There's no one in front of you.
It makes sense though. Expressway, you can go faster. You don't have
Could
to
you
worry about
go
other
up
traffic.
10 feet to the expressway?
And they have to have certain things available. Some people are going to probably just buy space and be like, I don't want ships flying in front of my windows.
That's probably true.
So something I want to see in here, like since we've seen Mon Mothma and all of them, like the senators and shit, I want to see somebody like getting shaved or a haircut. Because I want to see how they do that shit in here.
We finally got to hear about refreshers fully, so let's get some hair.
They use a vibro blade.
Do they?
I don't know.
So we finally got some black people in Star Wars, and you want to see the barbershop?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cassian Andor.
At like age 22.
Right.
Isn't that the Separatist logo? Though?
Where?
On the watch. I might be wrong with how many wedges are in it, but it looks similar.
Jordy, you're right. Andor did shave with his knife, but I want to see like the hoity-toity people go to like the salon.
Trimmers and yeah. Is it a
How
droid?
does the bourgeoisie shave?
Yeah.
There's a long version, but what matters is they killed him.
They use colon crystals, right? So it's not a lightsaber.
You couldn't fight him. You couldn't bear it, so he went in a boat and filled his pockets with stones.
It sounds like the Empire didn't kill your brother, dude.
I don't really know what to call how I feel now.
What kind of farm?
Trees. Pepper trees. Centuries of them. That's as close to an apology as you're gonna get.
Close enough.
All I heard was Will Ferrell. Fair enough.
Karenan's in charge now. Completely in charge. I need to know you understand that. If all goes well, we'll see you tomorrow night.
I need to hear you tell me if you follow the plan.
You won't have a problem with me.
No farewells tonight. Plenty of work to do together tomorrow.
I mean, I
Still
hate to
love that
say
Cassian. I still love that Cassian is using Kyle Katarn's blaster.
I mean, I hate to say it. Like the cause is all well and good, but Cassian is the most reliable person there, being there because of the capital or because of the money.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other things holding him down.
That will get in the way later and probably cause a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the difference is if you do have the belief, then you're more likely willing to die for the cause.
Oh, that was a good close-up of the holocron.
Yeah, of
Gotta go
course.
back to that and look at that soon.
Are those sonic screwdrivers?
Oh, look at that holocron.
Oh. Oh, that's a Sith one too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that's that big.
I know they're huge.
Well, we don't know if those are like,
Genuine.
replicas.
Or really old ones.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yes.
And the one on the phone.
I don't like seeing you nervous. There's nothing else you can do, Luthen. They're either going to be okay or they're not.
What? That's That's a daring prediction.
Or they're empty.
The thief, Andor. I wasn't careful.
You wanted this to happen. This is what it took. It's never going to be perfect.
Wanted it too much.
We have clients in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
They'll all be over this time tomorrow.
To the right of the holocrons are Sankara stones from Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's those were okay. I was looking at them
Yeah, I was wondering what those were. I was like, what? Oh, you know. Fun fact about me: those stones, I used to look at them as like sugar babies. That's my fat ass joke of the day.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Man, oh, like in the proper
It's so
way.
tense.
Yes, there's
It
so
is.
much tension and suspension. I just want the heist to happen, but I love how it's going.
I mean, yeah. You
But
know,
if this is
what-
episode.
it's kind of
episode
like
5.
the opposite of the Mandalorian effect. You remember lots of times when we were watching Mandalorian, you're like, okay, the next episode is probably just going to be like another, you know, point A to point B quest episode, and then we'll get the real, like, you know, then we'll get the rescue. But then, like, we got Luke and then the rescue.
Yeah.
This one, it was the opposite. It was like, oh, we're gonna see the ritual, we're gonna see the storm, and then the heist.
Yeah.
But I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the slow buildup of the tension for sure.
Well, it gives it that ominous noir agent vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of development too with the people in the rebel cell.
Yeah.
It is, and I can see why they chose to do it with Caspian, just so because we didn't have that character build in Rogue One, and now it's like, okay, cool. So now you get more of a backstory of who he is and why he is the way he is. So I'm like, all right. I didn't like him before. I still don't care for him, but I'm like, okay, I understand more now. And I guess he can grow on me if I let him.
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
but we get to see his like his intellect and his skills here. So I like how sharp he is. But I also so in this episode we have these people who are bound by cause, but like not cohesive as people.
At all.
And then you swap over to Mon Mothma and her family, and they're bound. Like they have the exact opposite problem.
Yeah.
I know it's just really interesting. But they also painted Mon Mothma as caring so much about the cause that her family is just neglected. And so I do appreciate kind of getting this look on both sides of the coin, because it's very true, you know.
But I like the way you put that, is neglected, because I honestly didn't think that, but it's so true. At first, I was just like, oh, these are just hoity-toity rich people being hoity-toity, and they don't want to be rebellious. They don't care about going to charity balls. They just want to do what they want to do and be frivolous. But I actually really like that idea that she's been so obsessed with anti-imperialness that she hasn't been a mother. Which in a sense,
and it's both. Like they're comfortable
Yeah.
where they live, and so it's like, why do you care about this stuff? And she's like, don't you see what's happening?
Yeah, she went from being their mom and wife to mom and wife of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Makes sense.
what I like about Andor so far is also just he's not immediately thrust into the rebellion and he starts working with them so willingly. Right? His trepidations in this episode is more along the lines of he just wants to survive, right? He's just there for the money. And he's not really there to fight for any kind of cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that has to happen, right? Because like he's been in this fight since he was 6. So what kinds of fights he's been in, and how long does it take for him to go from mercenary to like fighting for the cause?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and in all honesty, it reminds me somewhat of the book Battlefront Twilight Company.
Okay.
Because the main character in that book, similar story, has been fighting his entire life, and so he's in the war, and you know he's actually leading rebellion, like this army that's like the vanguard and like fighting like these crazy battles. But he's doing it because that's all he knows how to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much he believes in the cause, it's that this is just another in a long line of wars that he's been in. But that also is why he's so reliable, because now he cares about the people he's with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think that's what the rebellion really turns into, which is nice, how it does become this big, tight-knit group of people working towards freedom of, galaxy, versus what we're seeing now of just this aggressive, hostile, it's reactionary, and, it's based in revenge and self-redemption versus truly saving innocence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too is that something that I just came to the realization of is that I'm so glad this is 12 episodes, because we are so used to 6 and 8, like for in like recent memory, 6 episodes,
You're so
8
true.
episodes, and we are sitting here, and some people will be like eschewing this stuff about like, oh man, it's so slow, like why did like nothing happened in this episode. It's like, yeah, because now it's 12 episodes, whereas like if you were watching Kenobi with 6, was it 6, right? It was 6 episodes.
Mando's only like what, 8 or
I think Boba
about
was 8,
8.
right?
yeah,
Both
both
season were 8.
Yeah, and so like we're now in like a full on like season of a show, and so things don't have to be so fast, and things don't have to be so exciting up to this point, because we're still in the middle of the season, right? We still have 9, 10, 11,
there's so
and
much
12.
yeah, there's so much story to go through. We haven't even gotten near Guerrera yet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that, and people still gonna cry and whine about it because they're not used to. A lot of people aren't used to seeing live action Star Wars as a series, and they see it like, oh, it's a movie. Everything's supposed to be like all in one. I'm like, and that's not the case. It's like this is the new form of storytelling. It's the build up. So enjoy it. Go back to the old format. This is what we're used to as kids. This is the old format of storytelling. And if it had to do an extended one, you got a mini series.
Well, it sucks that so many people forgot that, because like now so many people are so used to having a set in universe that 4 or 5 episodes to set an ambiance drives people insane now.
I mean, this has always been my preference for storytelling. Like people have always thought me crazy, but like for instance, I preferred the 90s Spider-Man show over Batman the Animated Series, and it's because one was episodic and the other one was arc driven, and more stuff connected week to week to week, and you all got to see even a random background side character have, like in the 90s Spider-Man show, Flash Thompson, who's like a nothing character in the show, has a full character arc. Versus like, I mean, I like the show more than Mando personally.
So do I.
Okay. But it's just the difference in episodic nature versus this arc where I'm just like get more and more invested in these characters. This feels like episode 15 of Mando, chapter 15, where Migs Mayfield comes back into it, and we get to like why he's the way he is, and we kind of get that depth, that character development. That was my favorite episode of that whole season because of that. With Andor, every episode is that.
Yeah.
That's why I like Digimon better than Pokemon.
That's also a good one too. I've watched more episodes of Digimon than I have of Pokemon, and I haven't seen like in completion either of them, but I have seen more Digimon episodes. Does Mando have more wow moments? Yes. But
Yeah, for the average human.
But this is the paradigm that is affecting the MCU right now, and it's affecting Star Wars. We have to normalize normal shows. Like
I agree.
not every episode of She-Hulk is going to be like an Avengers level threat, and not every show is going to be about that. When I started watching She-Hulk, it's like, oh, we're just going to have like a day in the life of, like, you know, and we're not going to have like this big bad causing confrontations and conflicts every episode.
The big bad is a chick who is trying to like just take her under by using her name.
Yeah. And so with like Star Wars, trying to normalize a show that is setting
I think Neve forgot.
Huh?
She just posted on Twitter. So she's up. She watched the episode.
Oh, did she?
Wow. So, you still had something to say, Pep?
Oh no, I was just saying. And now it's happening with Andor. Longer season means more build up, and just we have to normalize that. Like sometimes there's going to be episodes that build tension.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I enjoy She-Hulk, just the storytelling of it and the character build. And if this is how Andor is going to be, like that's what it's about. It's about the character, the backstory of how the rebellion start, and Andor as a character and what he brings to it and how he is. Then I'm okay with it. I mean, it's cool. And like you guys said, it has a lot of suspense to it. Has that keeps you on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen, and I do enjoy that.
Man, the aspect of not knowing what's going to happen has been awesome in Star Wars.
Yeah, so it actually pulls that espionage. You don't know if somebody's going to turn. Like just like now, he had a knife brought to his neck. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, okay, is he turning? Is he like what? Oh shit. Okay.
How's it going, Marvel Brights?
And also, like, what does he know about that blue kyber crystal that made him so like, it's worth money? Why does that matter?
I'm glad
your blaster's worth a lot too.
So question.
Well, I just want to clarify it. It's not a kyber crystal.
Okay. What is it?
It's blue kyber. It's you know how like there's veins that grow out of the cave of Elam. That's all kyber.
Yeah.
Right. What the Jedi want are the crystals. It's like a diamond. Right.
Okay.
It's like a product of kyber, but it turns into a crystal. But there's a whole bunch of kyber everywhere. That's why it's a huge shard. Right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's kind of like colon crystals from Master and Apprentice. Galen also talks about a whole bunch of other kyber that they tried to use in place of kyber crystals. It's just not it's not as powerful. And so the way I describe them are like diamonds, because you have your rocks and minerals and your ore, and you have the product of like compression and like the earth doing its thing, and then it produces a diamond. So it's kind of like that. You go to Cave of Ilm, you see a whole bunch of like kyber, and it's just growing everywhere. But what they're interested in is a small ass crystal that forms out of like the Force. I don't know how it's made, but that's what they are.
Because it's also kind of living, so there's that whole aspect to it. Yeah. Well, with the sky, or the blue kyber, the sky crystal, whatever they really called it, that one almost seems like then it almost have like a different growth area, because it's also like white that fades into a color, where most of the ones we've seen have been a solid color.
Yeah, it's weird.
So my question for you then is, the crystal that Jyn Orla had in Rogue One, was that kyber crystal, or was that
that's a regular kyber crystal?
That's a regular kyber crystal.
That one's go into a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
It's cracked, but
yes, it was Kylo's.
It's the one that would go into a kyber crystal, just like the one that Luke has on Ahch-To. That is a kyber crystal as well. I'm good. How are you, Elman? Doing good. Just finished Andor episode 5 with the boys, and we're talking about lore now.
Yeah,
surprisingly.
So, with that information about the kyber crystals, from the information we got from, let's say, the Shadows of the Sith and the stuff that we were just talking about right now, can kyber crystals have an effect on you emotionally, since it's semi-sentient or a sentient.
I think they can form
thing.
a bond if the other person is a bit attuned to the Force into a degree where they can kind of like feed into the web of the crystal and the life energies around it. Then they can kind of mix and become one in a sense, or like harmonize.
The only thing that we've seen as far as because yeah, you're right, people can connect with it, but the only thing that we've seen anywhere near this is while Galen was working on kyber crystals, he all of a sudden like could no longer sleep.
Yeah.
So it did have some type of effect on him, but
because really the only thing that affected anything in Shadow of the Sith was the possessed mask.
Yeah.
Well, are we? Because just to refresh me, because when Luke wouldn't even touch the shards of the kyber crystals with his hand, because he's like, "Oh no, I don't want that to happen," so he had to sweep up the shards of the.
Yeah.
That's because they're
those were bled kyber crystals.
Yeah, they're demented.
That's just okay. Cool.
I think that's the main
to me,
reason.
I've always said like a Jedi grabbing a Sith crystal would be like putting a dying person in your head and hearing their screams.
Okay.
Think about somebody with psychometry picking up a bled kyber crystal.
Oh,
Ooh.
dude.
Jesus.
Or like going anywhere near Exegol, because that giant bled kyber crystal that was there.
What's up, Light 685? What is Aang episode mean?
But the reason why I was asking all that is because like I didn't know if the crystal kyber would actually have an effect on somebody who's not really in tune with the Force or Force sensitive. Maybe it just like I don't know.
I mean, if it made Galen a little jittery and like awake, lack of sleep and jitteriness and nervousness before a thing, it could easily be put into that. But at the same time, it could also just be the pre-game.
I know in the old Legends source book for a tabletop RPG, they said like the minimum amount to even sense somewhat Force sensitive things was 7,000, arbitrary numbers and stuff like that. But in canon, we don't know how sensitive either of these people are.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that one kid has got to be sensitive to a degree.
Which kid?
Like the in Andor, the youngest part of the, he's just the way he talks, how intelligent he is, how he always is thinking outwardly and never inwardly. He just strikes me as someone who is in tune with the Force in his own way.
Yeah, we don't have those arbitrary numbers other than Anakin's in canon, right? And so like, are the closest analog to someone that is not sensitive but attuned is Chirrut, right? But explaining
Lyra as well.
Lyra, Lyra was Force sensitive actually, not attuned, right? She was Force sensitive.
Yeah. Well, so it was like very light, like not.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because again, and also everyone like the Force like moves through everyone so differently. It's like she felt the presence of change in the air on Coruscant near the Jedi Temple.
And that's
but I mean, me and you can walk into a room and feel an ambiance of presence and difference, while someone else is over there like, oh, I know exactly why, because I felt it too. And then I looked at this guy and he looked at that guy and that waitress was about to slip and fall, and it's just the level, I guess, of foresight.
If you think about it, the Force flows through everything. It doesn't matter if you're Force sensitive or not, right? And so there are some people in real life who can get vibes, and then there are some people in life who are empaths, and then there's some people in life who just can, like, I guess I'm gonna say quote unquote because I don't believe in that stuff, see someone's aura and just like that kind of stuff. So I mean, it is similar to that in Star Wars, where I think that Galen might have some form, some level, some degree of like attunement where he can feel that stuff, just not very high. Because midichlorians live in everything. It's just the amount. Other than that, we don't have much lore on kyber crystals in general. We have
that's kind of what I'm liking though about this Andor show, and what I really hope they push more in the future is like me and Chuck were talking about how they live in this world, They're just saying weird random phases and species that we have no idea about, never seen them, might not even ever get to see them. Like with the books, especially the High Republic books. They mention a lot of stuff in there. You're like, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, and I mean that's what the original trilogy did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Father fought in the Clone Wars, and you're like, what?
The hell's a Clone War?
What is that?
I was about to say something about Path of Deceit, but it's caught me dead. Don't worry.
I would have been upsetty spaghetti.
Upsetty spaghetti, you know?
Darn
Andor
tootin'.
propaganda.
Cassian Andor.
I don't know. I appreciated this episode a lot. I know there's going to be some people, because I could sense it. I feel it in my bones.
Yep.
There's going to be some people like, nothing happened. It's like, there's a lot happened in this episode. You just,
Yeah, my
just not-
YouTube content-alorian-ness is just like, ooh, I sense a disturbance in the farce.
in the farce. In the farce. Oh, man.
I look forward to Monday as Twitter and YouTube descends upon itself and hates everything.
Yeah. Small update for if you guys are still around and in the chats to tune in on Saturday for the Dyad OG Triple OG episode. Because we got Victoria, Fangirl Meeks, and Shayla Wren.
Shaylo?
Yes.
Wow.
Shayla's back. This is the creme de la creme of, like, you know, people who started with Dyad and the Force, like our pre-recorded days.
You know what's funny is it must have been a Dyad moment. I was about to reach out to Shaylee because I was like, I want to let her have time to do her thing, but I was gonna reach out and be like, you know, you want to do stuff again? And actually, when we were playing GTA and I was listening to a podcast, I was listening to her on a podcast talking about how the Jedi are not a cult. Great episode of that podcast. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, that's amazing.
I'll have to go find it. I love those conversations.
I think I saw a snippet of it on her TikTok, or someone's TikTok that was posting that they had her on. What's up, Looseberry? Good episode. I agree. It was a good episode.
Yes.
Well, I mean, speaking of arbitrary numbers, I'd say this one for me is like a solid 8 out of 10 because the tension. Like, I haven't actually. There were a few moments I'm like gripping my chair, actually, like, oh my gosh, I'm like edge of the seat kind of. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, as
But
Chaco
I'm
said,
also a fucking fanboy.
well, as Chaco says, you know, some people value lightsaber Goper
Yeah.
versus, like,
You said lightsaber
story.
Goper?
Yeah, there's nothing
Versus-
wrong with loving that. I just
Yeah, I know, but and then, like, you know, but like if you find value in tension and like nuanced storytelling, then even episodes like this are rank high. You know what I mean? Some people would be like, oh, where was the pew pew? Where there was no blaster fire.
You know what else? Those people who like lightsabers go burr. Lightsaber go burr equal no book.
I'd say watch the TIE fighter doing a pass
On
I feel
repeat.
now I feel sorry for the ATCs when Maverick does his you know, his flyby.
As someone who grew up on a ranch, I still feel bad for those sheep because they would have literally had a heart attack and would have died.
yeah.
They just like just fall over.
Oh, they're all fainting goats? No, they dead.
Dang. But yeah, this Saturday is going to be one heckin' great episode. I just reached out on the whim because I was like, I have Victoria and I have Meeks on. I was just like, hey, we got like a bunch of, like, you know, OGs on. Do you want to come on? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, let's make this happen.
I look forward to watching it. I'll hopefully be able to catch it live, but weekends I'm still working at the Ren Fair.
Oh, that's no problem.
Nice.
This episode only. Is
By
a can't
working,
miss.
he means getting drunk on mead.
Boy, I wish. I teach sword fighting and am a private security guard for the King and Queen.
There you go.
because they're $6,000 costumes, and drunk people like to try and touch them and hurt them for some reason, especially guys dressed in assassins' outfits. And they don't understand that it's still assault.
Gotta keep that roleplay up.
Yeah, so I do, and I'm a town guard, and I'm higher level.
It's sort of funny when you think about it. How you have to remind some people you just can't touch them. You can't touch people.
Yeah, it's hilarious. These full-grown men, you have to be like, "Excuse me, sir, you really thought that was a good idea? Please put the fake knife away and go home."
Just think about your younger days. When you needed permission to reach into the cookie jar, you'll need permission to touch other people.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah. It's that simple. All right.
Who's Cinta sharing a blanket with?
What?
On the episode.
I knew exactly what you went to.
Yeah, me too. I was like, is that code word for
She looks
coitus?
at like she looks at the. He just became the leader. Starts with the T. I'm horrible with names. I haven't heard at least 50 times.
It was a weird name, and
but she looks at him sometimes, but also she looks at the other main girl too, and I'm thinking it's those two because they like have that weird thing where they don't really have to look at each other, but they'll talk all the time.
It makes sense if it's Vel. I mean, because then like they looked at Vel and then looked at Cinta and they were like, "Not even you? Like you didn't know? She didn't tell you?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So is that Venta?
Hey, I'm here for it.
I'll drink a venti.
Is it Marmo?
I don't like that at all.
Marmo set. All right. If you don't like that, give me another one.
There's a spot.
Wait a second.
You're on it.
Wait a second. Is that? Did they really do that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so if Cinta is stating Vel, Cinta's Vel.
Cinta Vel? Oh Jesus Christ!
Boba Fett's wife in the expanded universe.
Did you just arrive at that from Marmo?
Oh no, I was just like, wait.
I love these people. I'm the same guy who was wigging out when I saw the Mara Jade Lives thing from Galaxy's Edge. So anything that just blatantly might maybe sorta kinda relate to maybe a person. Maybe.
Chucker.
I'm all here for it.
Chuck, are you gonna end this stream and go straight to TikTok and make that video?
Probably. Yeah. Why not?
That's a good call. It took me a while. I was like, calculator. Because you said if there's Vel and there's Cinta, and I was like, Vel Cinta?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. All right. Well, it's 1 a.m. It's late for a lot of people in the East. Jackson, you are in Central?
Yep, 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's late.
I wake up in 2 hours to go to work.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for staying up late with us and hanging out in the chat for this watch party. Lewis Berry, Light, Marvel Brights, Connor, Matt Stoker, Nighthawk, St. Pat, and everybody else. Scott Summers as well. We appreciate you. And thanks to Dex and Download and Jedi Master DePaul for joining us on this watch party. DePaul was a late last minute addition. He was just like, okay, I'm gonna go sleep or something. And I was like, you wanna watch it?
No, you're not.
Yeah, you caught me off that one. I was like, okay.
That's the fun now. I'm all amped up after Andor, so now I gotta figure out how to go to sleep.
Oh, that's true. Just take another 15.
Yeah, I'll just take another 15, stay up. Mm-hmm. Or I just won't go to work. Oh! I'll make content all day.
Hey, that's one way.
All right. That's the end. On to the next one.
For Light and for Life.
We're all the Republic.
And Sentinels fail. Who would have thought? May the force be with you.